That radio chick Cheryl Lee here. Welcome to the Still Rocking It podcast, where we'll have music, news reviews and interviews with some of our favourite Australian musicians and artists. Rai Thistlethwayte, solo performer and founding member of Thirsty Merc, is always one of our favourites to chat to. He is out and about with a bunch of his legend friends, the Fabulous Caprettos. Let's hear all the goss. To catch up on podcasts from other favourite artists, simply go to thatradiochick.com.au.
How's it going? Long time no speak.
I know, right? It's not even quite 6 months.
That's right. It's good to be back on the video.
Let's get started. Let's get stuck straight into it, shall we?
Sounds good.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick, and I'd like to welcome into the Zoom room today one of the members of the most legendary boy band in Australia, Rai Thistlethwayte. Thank you for joining me this morning.
How's it going?
Pretty good, thanks. Although I can't really call you a boy band anymore, can I? You've let a female into the ranks.
That's right. There's a female capretto. Yeah, Wendy Matthews has joined us, and she's doing tremendously well. We've had a great time. I mean, I've always wanted to work with her. I've done some gigs where she's been on the bill. You know, these multi-band things that we do, and she's awesome. I mean, I've also. It's been given me an opportunity as a keyboard player to play the piano part on the day I went away, which has been an old favourite of mine. So she's great, good value, great hang. She's awesome, and great vocalist, and just a beautiful human being all round. So you guys are in the middle of your current tour. I think I counted you've got 11 dates to go, including here at Hindley Street Music Hall here in Adelaide, bringing Wendy with you because, well, let's start from the beginning. For those that may not have heard us chat before, what exactly is a goat? Are you asking what is a capretto?
Yeah, great of all time.
Well, look, I don't know whether that was how the name came about, but that's been the joke on stage. The goats, maybe it was old goats, I'm not sure. But the greatest of all time joke comes up quite a lot. I think it just, maybe it sounds a little bit like, you know, one of those Italian music terms, if you put it into a context of a music.
Yeah, like falsetto.
That's right. The fabulous falsettos.
I think we're going to look back on this band and really, really appreciate the quality of boy band members. You started off with Daryl Braithwaite in the mix. He's sort of retired. And then the amazing Russell Morris, who was a founding member as well, is almost retiring. He's joining you for a few more on this tour, isn't he?
Yeah, he's sort of guesting on the ones that I think, look, when you get to the point where you've done that many shows and that many albums and you've had such a sort of celebrated career, you definitely get to the point where you're picking and choosing what you want to do. You know, you're sort of thinking, oh, if I'd like to take a trip to Tasmania and see that, but make it a bit of a work trip, you know, get down there, play some shows for my fans down there. You know, so he's sort of picking and choosing certain routing and coming on things that he, you know, came to Cairns the other night with us. Understandably, in winter, if anyone will want to go to Cairns, it's quite glorious up there, wearing T-shirts and...
Oh, shut up.
And shirt and shorts. Well, I'm down here in Melbourne. It's cold down here. So
it's pretty cold here in Adelaide as well. You've got Dave Gleeson from the Screaming Jets and Jack Jones from Southern Suns. Yep. And yourself, of course. So your new member is Joe Camilleri.
Yeah, Joe Camilleri. And he's bringing a lot of energy to it. Just a great performer. And it's great because he plays saxophone, you know, sings, got some great hit songs, plays this beautiful guitar, and he's just amazing. So he's been really, really, really fun to work with. When he plays that song, you know, You Got Me in the Shape I'm In, everyone gets up. It's time to dance. It's just one of those sort of tempos and feels, and, you know, he brings a lot of high energy to the show, actually. It's really, really cool.
I can imagine, and I can't wait to see you guys when you hit our town. Just on Joe, he did have a bit of bad luck. I just thought I'd ask you if there was an update. Some beep, stone 9 of his, look at these fabulous guitars. He must be heartbroken. Any developments there?
I haven't heard any exact developments. I'm sure he's working day and night on trying to, you know, have people get back to him with any news and keeping the vibe going in the industry that, if anyone knows or sees anything. Yeah, he did 3 shows, obviously already with us since that all happened. And, they not only stole all of that, but even the thing where, you've lost your passport and a lot of your credentials and, having to go to the births, deaths and marriages registration so you can get this and then get this and then you can get your driver's license. But, just to get all the physical stuff and get a new passport, he's like, it's going to take 3 months to even sort of be able to prove that I'm Joe Camilleri. So he says it's just one of those things that it knocks the wind out of you. But he's also, he said in another sentence, he says, look, despite how tragic it's all been and how violated you feel when someone does this, it's one of those feelings where you have to be able to sort of be prepared to say goodbye to, material things. And he says, I'm actually quite good at that as a human being. I've had to do that a few times, and that's a sort of human thing in anyone's life. If you can't do that, But that said, he's on the hunt. He wants to find the stuff because some of those guitars, they were very, very desirable.
Oh, and yes.
They were
beautiful.
Irreplaceable sentimental value, and not to mention some of the other side of it. But yeah, I was really feeling for him because it's just so much work. He has nothing to do with the event, and now he's got to go and piece it all together and do all the other stuff. And, it's frustrating. It's been really hard.
Bloody bastards. I hope they catch him. What are they going to do with Joe's passport, really? What's it going to do for them?
I know. How does it benefit anyone? I know.
It's good that he's got, as positive attitude about it as you can have. It's like when my daughter wrote off her car, like her first car, I said, it's a thing, you get another one, you're okay. That's the main thing.
Right. It's so much more important to think you've got, if it was something to do with his health or something like that.
Still the same old Joe, get up there, rock it with the best.
Oh, you wouldn't have known anything negative or anything had gone on in those shows on the weekend. He just absolutely rocked it. If anything, he gave it all his heart and soul, and everyone was having a great time. That's the thing. He's a professional musician. He gets up there and he knows what he's got to do. It's a conversation with the audience. He was having that. It was working well.
I touched on the caliber of the artists that have come through your, well, not boy band now, but with your female in Wendy. But you yourself, we've touched on this before, so we won't go too in-depth, but, your caliber is amazing. Like, it's clearly in your DNA. Mum was a piano teacher and Dad was in rock bands. Your pedigree is pretty groovy.
Well, thank you very much. My pedigree is very groovy. Well, that's a nice compliment. I don't know how I'd follow up with that. I'm lucky. I had my parents be very supportive, and as I might have even mentioned to you, I've definitely said it to other people. A lot of other parents were sort of saying, go get a real job, and I still haven't had to have a real job yet, but it has been a whole lot of hard work, so maybe it has been work in that sense, but it's been gratifying work. It's made me a living quite nicely over the many, many years I've been doing it. It's been unpredictable. It's had some tragic events that have been hard to get through and all of that. But I think that's any career. If you look at a span of 20-something years, that's going to happen to anyone. I've had to sort of think about ways of reinventing creatively a little bit and do some overseas travel, hook into some other projects to sort of keep things fresh for myself. All musicians can be very insecure at times and question whether you're worth anything, and you can have a project that sends you into the public eye and then you can be dropped by a label, or you can be dumped by this idea and, go through a change where you made a decision that might have been regretful and all of that. That's what happens when you're in any career for over a couple of decades. So I'm still doing it. The business has had so many changes, but it still hasn't beaten the enthusiasm for music out of me. So I sort of think that that's been a product and function of my parents introducing me to this creative energy of sonic kind of love in a lot of ways, which is sort of what music ends up being when you look at all aspects of it. They gave me that love as parents, so I think that sort of is how I translated it into using my skill set to sort of communicate that with other people as well, and also go through my own version of personal development. Music's been like that for me because it's led me to meet people that have been great on the road, and that's often what your work needs to be as well, a network of people that are going to keep you afloat as a person. And I think, yeah, it's been all of those things and more, definitely because I had my parents' support with it.
Yeah.
It was there so early on in my life that I didn't have to bring ideas of how cutthroat it is or how difficult it can be or how lumpy the income can be or how crazy the itinerary can be. So thankfully I still sort of think back to those days, and that keeps me going.
You've had, over the years, lots of successes with Thirsty Merc, with your own solo career. But have you got a scoop for us? Is there anything on the horizon for Ray coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a few little things around with some more. It's been cool. I haven't had to sort of drive some of these projects so much, but I've been very lucky to work with a drummer from Perth, Ben Vanderwall. I do a lot of, I guess it's like a solo build gig, but really it's a featuring Ben kind of gig. We want to do some more touring, and typically we tour through Asia or Southeast Asia. I want to do a bit more traveling in that region. I've been to America a lot. Europe would be good to do some more traveling too. And if I can tie it in with music, that'd be cool. And I'm talking to a few people about some potential stuff for next year. But I think in terms of my own projects, I've got some good material there. I just need to work out how to sort of, I don't want to like categorize it too much, but I guess in an album sense, you do have to think of some sort of how is this going to have a thread through it. So I'm probably at the stage where I can do that now. Previous to that stage of a songwriter's kind of cycle of creating work, you need to actually create the work. But I think I've got enough there to,
So watch this space.
The songs are the meat. I think all I need to do is get a kebab skewer to put through the middle of it and work out, is this going to sit in the right thing? And then we can fry it up and put it on the hot plate and then make sure it's nice and, cooked in the right way, and then turn it over a couple of times and mix it, and then see if we want to.
The sauce.
Yeah, well, the sauce. Oh, that's reverb and delay and chorus, all sorts of other effects. So maybe we'll do that.
So watch this space. Back to the coming up gigs for the Caprettos. I noticed on the socials you're talking about some gig-only merch. It's not online. You guys have got a new T-shirt with the 5 of you on it, $40. This is what I'm really interested in. Bootleg series live in concert from last year, the CD. So you can only get this merch at the moment if we head along to a gig, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a gig exclusive. I've got to get a CD player in my current place. I've got one in my car, so I'll have a listen to it. But I actually was given one of those by the band, and I stuck it in my little suitcase, and I brought it home. So I'll have a listen to it. Sometimes listening to your own work is, you don't want to do it. It's like an actor who has to look at the back of their neck when there's a camera angle from a certain place. You're like, oh, I don't want to look at myself that way, but
my eyes.
Yeah, that's.
My ears.
But I'm sure it's a great compendium of stuff, because the good thing about anything Caprettos is you're getting a great cross section of songs from lots of artists. So it's always a good listen all the way through.
Exactly right.
Material.
So get onto the Googleometer and find out when the Caprettos, the Fabulous Caprettos, are coming to your town. To finish off, how game are you to do my quick 10?
Let's do the quick 10. I'm happy.
10. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have to answer them as fast as possible? I've got to go as fast as possible. All right.
Yeah. Try not to think too much about it.
Yeah.
Favourite song of all time?
Oh, Someday We'll All Be Free by Donny Hathaway. As I said, I'm going first thought. Good
on you. Favourite live concert you've ever seen?
First thing that came to my mind, not my favourite, but I'll tell you, it was probably one of the first big bills, was a thing called the Big Backyard. Midnight Oil headlined it. Def FX was on the bill. Caligula was on the bill. I can't think of the other bands that were on there, but it was in the Domain in Sydney. I was about 15 or 16, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. It sort of made me realise what a festival feels like.
An influential artist on your career, most influential?
Artist musically as a band configuration, I'd have to say Deep Purple.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, dead or alive, who would you like to most collaborate with?
I'd be shaking in my boots because he just runs rings around anyone. But Keith Jarrett, the keyboard player, the piano player, best improvised music I've ever heard, has most likely come from this one person. He's still around. He's not playing live anymore. He's one of my favourite musicians. Apart from that, I'd probably say Claude Debussy, the French composer from, around writing things in the early 1900s. This is going back
Wow.
to my piano roots. I'm a piano player at heart, and just to be able to watch someone like that compose and play would just be incredible.
Awesome. Piece of advice that you've received that's been invaluable.
Oh, piece of advice. Oh, I'll just think of a silly one. Don't talk with your mouth open. I think my dad said that when he was trying to give me some different type of advice, but botched it.
Don't talk with your mouth open.
Yeah, it's probably. I think he was basically telling me to shut up. Trying to say don't eat with your mouth open.
Close. Good
Yeah, but
on
I
you.
think don't talk with your mouth open is better for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, now, what is your favourite song to perform right now? What are you loving performing right now?
All right, I'm going to go in and I'm going to say Better by the Screaming Jets, sung by Dave Gleason. And I get to play it and I get to rock out on guitar at the Caprettos gigs. I know that's a biased answer, but it is just such a great song.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? What's been your most challenging moment career-wise?
Well, career-wise, I think it might have been having to endure the event that happened when we had a road accident in the band. There was a fatal accident, and our good mate Mick had a horrible time following that. He was, yeah, very banged up to say the least. But it's been one of those things where knowing that he's okay has been really, really cool. And, I have a great rave with him on the phone, and it's made him a stronger person emotionally on a lot of levels. Yeah, just a horrible event though.
Yes.
So that was hard. That was a really, really tough time for the
Yeah.
band.
No, I bet. And the last one is, what is a song, possibly maybe a Thirsty Merc song, or one of your own solo songs that you wish more people heard and loved and played? No, I won't
Yeah.
say underrated, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, there's a song that I wrote that is actually quite appreciated online. It's had quite a good amount of, views on YouTube, but the thing is I never really released it as a proper thing. So maybe it's in a way that's the reason that it hasn't received, the sort of airtime that maybe I think as a songwriter. But I think as a songwriter, it's one of my favorite songs. It's a song called Always Dreamed of You. And it's one of those weird, almost dreamscape, it could be a Disney sort of movie ballad in its own way. But there's something about it that links that song for me to a sort of childhood hope, something to do with a connection with my own parents, something to do with what I wanted to do with my life when I was a kid, and kind of a support song for someone else as well. It's got it talks about the person I always dreamed of, maybe. Is it to do with a love that you're looking for? Or is it to do with actually a meaning that you're looking for in the embodiment of sort of maybe? It's weird to think that my mum and me being a kid and that connection that happens between a child and the mum, and she sort of taught me music, and there's a connection there that I'm sort of somehow talking about in this song, but I think it's there with every child and their mother. And I think there's something in that song that reminds me of the way it was to be even before you were the age of 10, before you've gone through puberty and sort of like thinking, what does this all mean? And I think that song's the sort of question mark song of my songs. It's the sort of,
Beautiful.
yeah, but it's kind of like a hopeful song.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Always dreamed of you. I did a live piano and vocal at my old place in Sydney. Yeah, on a beautiful Stewart and Sons piano that was lent to me by Wayne Stewart, an Australian piano manufacturer and complete genius in terms of engineering. He's based in Tumut these days in New South Wales. But he lent me this piano for a while, and I was looking after it. And these, pianos are huge symphonic things. So yeah, it's probably that one. Nice of you to ask about that.
That song sounds beautiful, Ray. Would you like to introduce it? And I think we'll go out with that song today.
All right, no worries. This is a bit of a softer note sound from compared to some of the stuff I've done before, but it's called Always Dreamed of You, live piano vocal recorded at home by yours truly.
I know you guys are pretty busy, so I really appreciate you spending the time and sitting down and having another chat with us. It's always great to catch up. I look forward to seeing you on Friday the 25th here in our town. And as I say, get onto the Googleometer and catch these goats, these greatest of all time, in your town.
Sounds good.
Anything else you wanted to mention?
No, that's been awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. Always fun to chat to you, and yeah, hope to see you at the gig.
Oh, yeah, I've got my tickets. I'll see you down the front.
Yeah, sounds good. See you then.
Thanks, Ray. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
You are listening to Still Rocking It, the podcast with Cheryl Lee.
As promised and as introduced by Ray himself, always dreamed of you.
Tuesday mangled ride. She felt a storm inside the fearful sun. And stoplights went to shine. This weeping heart of mine rejected door. The song was sung, and on my path we sat and stared, in motion chasing solitaire, and all remains, still all remains. And out of all the things to do, I'd do anything you want me to. With all the dreams so far away, the dreams should only be this way. Well, I was walking down my street, I've been so lost I can't find my feet. And what it all comes crashing down to is that I've always dreamed of you. The girl was down in spite. I'll be your friend tonight, said the radar moon. And from the windowsill, it seemed such a bitter pill to swallow soon. But she knew the tune. The jury sees what comes in time. At 4 o'clock, a clock may chime, but all remains, still all remains. And out of all the things to do, I'd do anything you want me to. With all the dreams so far away, the dreams should only be this way. Well, I was walking down my street, I've been so lost I can't find my feet. And what it all comes crashing down to is that I've always dreamed of you. And what it all comes crashing down to is that I've always dreamed of you.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Thank you so much for joining me on the Still Rocking It podcast. Hope to catch you again next time. Get out when you can, support Aussie music, and I'll see you down the front.